Hi Signets, I am back for a VR. Oops, you can see a little. Technically to 22 Zines, my friend Wesley, who brought a blog post slash hashtag over to YouTube. So I will link Wesley's video in the cards and maybe in the description, and then I will also link Nina, the original blog post writer who did this tarot tag, her blog below. Okay, so what it is, and as you can tell by the title slash hashtag, it is a dream house, a tarot dream house. So it is hashtag dream house card house. And this was really hard, and I went through probably 90% of my decks, and I still don't even know if it's like perfect, but we're doing what we can do. I did most of the prompts that Wesley did, and then I removed maybe one or two, I think just one actually, and then I added a few. So you can really do whatever you want here. The first element of my dream house is the town that surrounds it. So I was very much inspired by kind of a Jane Austen feeling, and definitely the Fantastic Menagerie tarot. And I just imagine this little town. Like, how many am I gonna be able to put in? Because I feel like I have a lot. And this isn't necessarily where I'd want to live in real life, at least at this stage of my life. But for my little, dollhouse dream house, I very much would. I liked this town down here too. So this is the town. How cute is that? I did this because I really wanted like a pond or a lake situation, and I loved the swans. We know I love swans, so that was that inspiration. So this is kind of the inspo for the town. Kind of a little bit provincial maybe, but not like too much. Like, it has maybe a city center or an old, like there's the village area. Think kind of like Downton Abbey. There's like the village area, and then there's kind of like the thatch roofed homes, and then maybe more of like the stonework homes. Very old school, very probably English inspired. Yeah. Okay, environment number 2 is the garden. So I have a lot of inspiration for this one as well. I love this like old style statue, water. Water's definitely a big part of it. Lily pads, maybe a greenhouse, definitely fountains. Very maybe glamorous feeling. Here's more statues, roses, very manicured, right? I'm like, how can I arrange this in a way that pleases me? Yeah, I think I would like a garden that looks somewhat like this. I feel like I pared down. Maybe I can find some other ones that I pulled for the garden. Okay, yes. Here are some more fun ones. Again, I think in real life, I would love to do like a Japanese garden, but in my tarot dream house, it looks more like an English garden, This is just so fun. I really hope that everyone does this because everyone has such different aesthetics. Like, I'd love to see everyone's personalities. Okay, yes, water features, manicured green, like hedges and florals, lots of stonework, trees, and like a day to nighttime vibe. Now we move on to the exterior of the house, which was really difficult, and I had to go with, in continuing the theme that I had already put in place, which was good because there were more examples of that than really, again, what I would like in real life. And I like a lot of different types of styles, but we had to go castle with this one. We had to go full on castle core, if you will. So we have some, like, maybe this looks more German, and this one looks like just a French chateau. This one obviously is Arabic. Some of them are more like, look like homes rather than castles, right? So we have these two that look more like homes. And maybe even this one as well, like, even though it's very old looking. And then ones that look pretty extravagant, like these that are full-on castles. But I think this really encompasses the mood, even if I wouldn't want to go that big in my little town. Like, this is from the same deck as a lot of my inspiration for the town is, and it really fits in with the aesthetic and the geographic, like, vibe, and so does this. But I just love that. I love, like, a castle on the ocean. So once we have our dream home in sight, we're going to approach the entry. And I pulled inspiration for the outside of the entry and for the inside of the entry. The outside might look something like this. And it might have a door like this. And it might have a stairway when you come in, like so. I guess I could just line these all up. And I really liked this kind of, it looks grand, but it also doesn't need to have a lot going on. You know, it's kind of stark, which I'm really attracted to right now. As far as, like, having just the right bones and the right details, you know? So this would be my entryway. Very moody, very almost like imposing, right? This is kind of the only understated situation. Definitely wouldn't want this statue or ghost or whatever this is. This is more the vibe. So now that we're in the house, we can go through the different rooms. The first room is the parlor, where you would congregate with friends and family, where you would entertain. And these are the cards that really kind of called out to me. Yes, definitely a lot of color, a lot of saturation, comfort, a lot of culture and art and eclecticism, eccentricity. It's a place where I want to feel inspired stylistically and intellectually. I definitely would want to have conversations in this room and just be surrounded by beautiful things, maybe from all over the world and different eras in time. I really like this room. I can feel it and I dig it. Ooh, I realize I haven't been telling you what decks these cards are from, so I will do that going forward. But for now, obviously this is the Fantastic Menagerie, this is the Witchy Cat, this is Dreaming in Situ, Pagan Cat, the Tildwick, Aquamarine, Tenebrae, Amoret Psyche Oracle, the Heroine Tarot. Again, Amoret Psyche, Tildwick, Tenebrae, Heroine. This is the Wild Goddess, I think, Oracle. Pagan Cat, John Bower, 1001 Nights, Fantastic Menagerie, Tantric Dakini, Tenebrae, John Bower, The Witches Tarot, Fantastic Menagerie, Tenebrae. This is the Shakespeare Tarot on Etsy, the Heroine, Aquamarine, Wild Goddess. I think that's it. I don't remember. This is it's called the Gypsy Oracle, but it has a different name too because I don't like using the G word. Hold on, let me find it. Sibilla della Zingara, the Spolia, 1001 Nights. Okay, I'll be better at that going forward. Okay, so then we move on to the kitchen. I like a lot of color again, A lot of these are from the pasta tarot. Not because I love pasta. I mean, pasta's cool, but like more so because it's just such a cool, like vintagey, bistro-y vibe. I think that's like why I loved it so much. Okay, I think these colors specifically are really great. This is the aquamarine. Everything with the white border is the pasta tarot, and this is the mysteries of the Black Madonna. And yeah, I really love the Italian theming, the checkers, the green stripes remind me of like Italian bistro plates. And this is so much like bright and happy and retro, definitely the vibe of my dollhouse or my dream house kitchen. Once we cook the food, we have to eat it, right? So this is what I've put together for the dining room. And it's funny because the pasta tarot dominated the kitchen area, and it seems like the Carlatides tarot will dominate the dining room. Lots of pinks in here. So that was kind of a surprise, and maybe makes me think that I should be painting my future dining room pink. So that's good to know. Let's start at the top. We have delicacies. We have this tea. I don't know how to, is it a dispenser? What do you call that? I love it. I've seen them. They're amazing. Or like you can put like infused water in them. Obviously this is tea. You have a wonderful cake. I forget what this is called, but this is like a traditional British cake, I believe. You have fish. We have caviar, oysters, and vodka. Alcohol is definitely a necessity. I love a delicious cocktail. And then a cabinet, you're gonna see cats pop up everywhere, and that makes me so happy. That wasn't on purpose, but it just ended up being that way, and I love cats. I included a card that had people playing games, specifically card games. I love all types of games. I grew up playing card games with my family, and it's really something I love to do and to bond and, you know, commune and spend quality time with my friends and family. And what a perfect place to do it, in, you know, the dining room after a great meal. That's usually where we would do it growing up. The top three are the Carlatides. This is the pasta tarot. This is also the pasta tarot here. I chose this card because it's just a great time. Everyone's just sharing and laughing and enjoying themselves, and that's what I want to see. That's what I want to do. I love this. The same goes for this card, which is from the literary tarot. I really love the, okay, never mind the guy falling out of the window there, but I really love the wallpaper. I love the colors. I love that there are flowers in the dining table. The lighting is really pretty. And I really like the theming of, this is obviously the 20s. You can tell by their dress. And I love like the theme of like a 1920s dining room. I think that's really cool. And then this is from the Spolia. It was very like Dionysian. Again, the colors were really inspiring to me. I loved like the sumptuous looking background and all the cups, obviously, and like pearls everywhere. I don't know, just added to the richness of this room. And then lastly, the Wild Goddess Oracle. This just really was inspiring when it came to like texture and color and design. And it still felt like on theme as far as kind of the time frame that I was like going for, you know? I'd love to spend time in this room. So after we eat and play some games, it might be time to retire to what I'm calling the music den. So this is a space that if I had my own dream house, I would definitely want somewhere dedicated to relaxing, reclining, but also creating music. I myself am not a musician, but a lot of my friends and family are. Don't mind me while I just rearrange things like nonstop. It's just kind of what I do. Okay, here, this looks fine. But music is a part of my heart and soul, and I want to make music. I love to sing. I love to dance. And like I said, a lot of family and friends are musicians. And so I just have this ideal situation in my head, this fantasy of having a room full of instruments, a record player, maybe an old like sound system where I could even play like CDs and cassettes, and have it be this bohemian creative space that we can make music together and sing and play and maybe even record music. It would be a dream. So we have the literary tarot here, the Fantastic Menagerie, the 1001 Nights, the Tarot of Aphrodite, and we have the Lioness Oracle Tarot. After all of this socializing, I'm definitely gonna need some alone time, so I included a study in my dream house, and these are the cards that really inspired me. I love like the richness of all of these images and the depth of color, the feeling that these are all kind of not like necessarily dimly lit, but there's not a lot of overhead light. It's a lot of task lighting. So you're focused on something, but the rest of the room is kind of a mood. So these 3 cards are the Tarot of Aphrodite. I loved how focused they all looked. This one might be taking a rest, but she's deep in her work, and there's like a beautiful scene outside, and there's a lot of beauty going on inside. So like the actual room itself is really gorgeous and very detailed. What's the word? I can't think of the word, but I'll look it up and I'll put it here and you'll know what I mean. So then this again is the Shakespeare Tarot. And then this is the Marvelous Medieval Oracle. It's a French deck. And I love that these were all, you know, as I perceive, because I'm reflecting myself, that they're all women. And this is what I would want my study to look like. Maybe with more books. There were cards that had a lot of books in them, but they just weren't the aesthetic that I was looking for. So this is it. But I think this does a good job of expressing where I'd want to go to collect my thoughts, to write. I do a lot of writing. I write poetry. I'd love to read in a space like this, have meetings, you know, things like that. Okay, so right now in my house, I don't really have what you would call maybe an altar space. You know, I want to have a space where I don't need to move my tarot out of the way to make room for another task, right? So these were cards that kind of reminded me and inspired me that like I'd love even just a corner in the house to have like an altar space, or, you know, even if it's just a writing desk or a secretary desk where I can have my cards out and my setup all the time. This is a dream. I would love it so, so much. And I really liked the energy in all of these cards. This is the Wild Goddess Oracle. This is Mysteries of the Black Madonna, the Pagan Cat Tarot, and the Sluttist Tarot. Ugh, if only. Like I'm always moving all my tarot around and doing my videos in different spaces, and it would just be so, so nice to have a permanent spot that I could decorate and that I could just keep my decks and they would be unbothered. So my next room is very important, and it is the dressing room. And I chose these cards because they felt Like they had an element of leisure, an element of luxury, which is how I want to feel when I'm getting dressed, and also just an element of romanticism of the self, like a self-indulgence type of thing. I love fashion, I love personal style, I love all things pretty, I love jewelry and accessories and the getting ready process and being able to sit around and take pretty photos and things like that. So I also have never had a dressing room, and if I did, it would be the best, the most fun. Okay, so this is the Amoret Psyche Oracle. This is from the Slettis Tarot, the Aquamarine Tarot, the Lioness Oracle Tarot, Tarot of Aphrodite, and 1001 Nights. I loved how a lot of the cards that I found were from similar decks. Like I have over 100 decks, but the ones with the aesthetic of this dream house are a handful. And I guess that makes sense, right? Okay, so we come to the last room. I really wanted to do a bathroom, but I kind of thought about it too late, and I don't want to go through all of my decks again. Maybe as like a treat, I'll do a short, or I'll add on to the end of this video. We'll see. But I did do a bedroom. Here are the vibes. Okay, so we have definitely a lot of sensuality happening here, a lot of softness juxtaposed against maybe very strong lines of like a spindled bedpost and a canopy bed. I have medieval influences, I have Shakespearean and like Renaissance influences, I have 1920s influences. This might be like a 40s, 1930s, 1940s, and then of course I had to put in a couple new wave. Thank you, Wesley, for putting in new wave, because it really inspired me to look at that deck too. So I also have like rest, sensuality of the self, kind of tapping into like my own somatic landscape, and then of course more than the self, right? So sensuality with a partner. And I really love this. I really like this display. I like how this card specifically has a quote that says, "Where prayers cross." And I see that there is like a lot of turmoil potentially here, but the way that I look at it is more like in this context of sexual tension, which is exciting. Desire and passion, and kind of like a fantasy element as well. This was such a fun tag to do. Like I did it immediately after I saw Wesley's video at 22 Zines. I hope that you do it. Let me know what you think of my dream house card house and which room maybe was your favorite. And please comment if you do a VR, because I'm obsessed with this idea and I want to take it even further. So if you have any ideas, let me know, because this was so cool and so fun, and it makes me want to do my own tarot deck. Please like this video and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I want to thank you for being here. Thanks for being curious. Thanks for being my friend. My mom's coming. I gotta go.